Would you buy a used car without taking it to a mechanic first? I hope you just said no. Well, buying a house is no different. You can think of a home inspection similar to like a mechanic, except instead of a hood, it's the roof, and instead of the engine, it's the HVAC system in the house. Welcome back, guys. It's Jeff. Today we're going to be talking about home inspections. We're going to go over the top 10 mistakes that first-time home buyers make when it comes to the home inspection, and not just first-time home buyers, but home buyers in general. But first, if I can get you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, it will help other people just like you find this video. So we're going to get into it right now. Mistake number 1 is asking for the sellers to do the repairs and not asking for a credit instead. So let's say you have 10 things that you want to get repaired after having done the home inspection. Do you really think that the seller is going to take the time and effort to find a quality contractor to make sure that the job gets done correctly? Probably not. The seller is going to look for the quickest, fastest, and cheapest way to get the repair done. Now, unfortunately, even if the repair is not done up to your standards, they have still fulfilled their obligations in making the repair. A much better route is to search online or ask some professionals for some quotes to get this work done and find out how much it's going to cost, and then ask the seller to take a credit off of the purchase price. Instead of the repairs being done by the seller at a chance that the quality might be up to your standards, the credit will go towards the purchase price, and then you could use this money to do the repairs yourself with your own materials and possibly your own fixtures. Don't rely on the seller to do the repairs. Either ask the seller for a credit on closing or have them adjust the purchase price. Mistake number 2 is not getting a home inspection done at all. Now, for condos, this might not be such a big deal because at the end of the day, you are only responsible for inside of your unit. But if you do have any concerns, I recommend that you get one done anyway. If you are buying a single detached house or a townhouse, I highly recommend that you get a home inspection done. Now, depending on how competitive your real estate market is, you might have to waive your home inspection. And this is typically the case when you are in a multiple offer situation. Now, there are a few routes you can take, and the very first route is doing a pre-inspection. This is having your home inspector come in before the offer date to do a home inspection on the house that you're thinking about putting an offer in on. This will allow you to get a full report and a full list of the things that need to be done on the house so that you can make the decision on if you actually want to move forward and putting an offer in on this house. If the report comes back and you are satisfied with it, you can then know that you are making the right decision on going forward with this house, and you can scratch out the home inspection condition, and this makes your offer more stronger than others. A second option you can do is to keep the home inspection clause in there but not make it conditional. This just means that you can do a home inspection after you have an accepted agreement, but it is not up to the seller in order to do any of the repairs that you find during the home inspection. If you are in a competitive real estate market, these are your two options. This is where you're going to want to listen to your real estate agent and let them guide the way. How do you find a real estate agent that has your best interests in mind? Well, if you're interested, I have a network of real estate professionals around the globe in different markets. If you're interested, reach out, give me a call, shoot me an email, and I will get you connected with a real estate professional in your market. Mistake number 3 is not actually attending the home inspection. Now, assuming you're actually able to do the home inspection, you're going to want to make sure that you're actually there. Now, the home inspection condition period is anywhere between 5 to 10 days. So you're going to want to find a time that works best for you. I guarantee you that you're going to want to be there during the home inspection because this is a good opportunity to learn everything about your house. Mistake number 4 is not following the home inspector around. You're going to want to be following your home inspector around as they go through the home inspection. Now, I'm not talking about being so close that you actually get in the way of them inspecting, but you want to be close enough to ask questions about the things they are inspecting, about the different parts and the different components of your house. Mistake number 5 is getting too emotional. Now, buying a house can be an emotional experience, but you want to keep your expectations in line. Whenever you are buying a big ticket item, emotions will come into play. I guarantee it. And buying your first house or buying a home is no different. With this being a big purchase, you are going to have things that come up. Some of these things are going to be little fixes. Other things are going to cost thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars. If you get emotional and you let your emotions get in the way, it might actually hinder your ability in order to get the seller to fix the things that you want them to fix, or to get them to give you a credit or take some of the purchase price off to help fix these issues. Or even worse, you might even lose the deal. You might even get so emotional that you let the deal fall apart over small items that need to be fixed. Especially things that are less than $200. You want to make sure that you don't let the deal fall apart because of these little things. Here's a quick rundown. Your home inspector is going to go through the house top to bottom, and they're going to point out the things that need to be fixed. They're going to go through the house and completely try to show you everything that needs to be fixed. And rightfully so, this is just them doing their job. You definitely want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth when buying your house, but you don't want to freak out over every little thing. The whole point of a home inspection is not to give you a brand new house. Unless, of course, you're buying a new construction home and doing your pre-inspection before taking delivery of your house. In this case, you're going to want to make sure that the builder fixes all of the little things that you think need to be fixed before you take possession. For the majority of you, you're going to be buying a house that was built in the 90s, 80s, 70s, or even in some case a little bit earlier. So the seller is not going to be giving you a brand new house. This is just the reality. What we do want to focus on are those big ticket items and those safety issues. But we want to make sure that we level our expectations and know that the seller is not going to fix everything. The chances are is if we send the seller a list of 30 things that need to be fixed, they're going to get frustrated and they aren't going to want to fix any of them at all. That's why it's important that we focus on the big ticket items and the safety issues first. If the issue can be fixed with a $10 fix, you're going to want to make sure that you do those fixes yourself and that we only focus on those most important big ticket item things first. If you're finding any value in this so far, hit that like button and help others just like you find this video. Mistake number 6 is not researching your home inspector. So just like when you're hiring your real estate agent, your mortgage professional, or your lawyer, you're going to want to do your research and do your due diligence to make sure that this home inspector has a rock solid reputation. What will most likely happen is that your real estate agent will know a few home inspectors that they deal with on a regular basis. You're going to want to call them and feel them out for yourself. You're also going to want to ask family and friends who they used during their home inspections and find which ones that they trust. You're going to want to make sure that you find one with a solid reputation because they play a big role in the home buying process, whether this is now or later when these big issues arise. You want to make sure that they don't miss anything. Mistake number 7 is not using a specialist. Now, the scope of the home inspection is going to cover a lot, but there are some specialty items like the chimney, the pool, mold inspections, and septic and well inspections that have special inspectors that need to come inspect these specialty items. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have 5 inspectors show up at the house all at once. But what I am saying is that if your home inspector points out things like the chimney or the pool or things that may need to be looked at by a specialist, that you book another appointment and have them come in and inspect those things at a later date. This is when having a couple extra days in the home inspection condition period to allow those other specialists to come in if necessary. The last thing you're going to want to do is have your real estate agent or the home inspector shine a light up the chimney and say, oh yeah, I think that looks all right. You're going to want to make sure that you have someone come in and check it out and make sure everything is up to par. If there is any hesitations from your home inspector on a certain item of your house, it is best to get a specialist to come in and inspect it. Mistake number 8 is not doing a second walkthrough when you ask the sellers to do those repairs. So if you completely ignored the first mistake in this series and you decide to get the seller to do the repairs, you're going to want to make sure that you do a second walkthrough. So the reason we do a second walkthrough is to make sure that the repairs that you ask the seller to do are actually done. You're going to want to make sure that you do your second walkthrough about a week before closing to make sure that there were no repairs that the seller forgot to do and there are no repairs that are being held up just by duct tape. You want to do this about a week before so that there is not a delay in closing. Nobody wants that. You are also going to do a final walkthrough a couple days before closing to make sure that nothing major has changed between the time you did the home inspection and the time of closing. So if you do ask the sellers to do the repairs themselves, make sure that you do the second walkthrough and make sure that they are done correctly. Get the receipts, get any guarantees that is done on the work to make sure that it's done correctly. Mistake number 9 is hiring the cheapest home inspector. Just like buying a cheap house or buying anything at a cheap price, you get what you pay for. So if you get a cheap home inspector, you are probably not going to get the best value. Home inspections can cost anywhere between $400 to $800 depending on the size and the scope of the inspection. Now, the best case scenario, and I mean the absolute best case scenario, is you are going to save $100 on the home inspection. The worst case scenario of hiring a cheap home inspector is that they actually miss some of the big ticket items, the ones that are going to cost you down the road. These big ticket items could cost you thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Now, this could lead to serious issues down the road. Anywhere from 3 to 5 years, you might be looking at a 5-figure fix that needs to be done on the house if it is missed during the home inspection. I guarantee you, when that big ticket item comes up for repair in the next few years, you're not going to think you're a genius for saving $100. There are going to be plenty of opportunities for you to save some money during the home buying process, but getting a cheap home inspector is not an option. The 10th mistake is backing out of a contract 3 or more times. With the home inspection clause in there, this is a good opportunity to back out of the deal if there are big or small problems that you just can't deal with or that makes you not comfortable with moving forward with the house. But if you find yourself backing out of contract after contract because of the same issues, you're going to want to look internally instead of looking at the inventory of houses that you've been looking at. So, if you're backing out of one deal, that's fine, because that is exactly what the home inspection clause is there for. But if you're backing out from more than 3 homes, then you're going to want to take a look at yourself. Are you getting cold feet? Are you having the right expectations set for you? Is buying a house really in the cards for you? So if you find yourself backing out of every single deal that you get into, you're going to want to look internally, because it doesn't make sense to keep going in on homes and then paying for the home inspection over and over again. The home inspection condition time is the perfect time to back out of the deal if it is absolutely necessary and you don't feel comfortable moving forward with the house. So those are the 10 mistakes that first-time home buyers or home buyers are making during the home inspection. If there's one that I forgot, please drop it down in the comments below. If you liked this video, you're going to want to watch this video right here where I go further into the home buying process. So I'll see you in the next video.